Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you've had a good past 2 weeks. I was on a retreat last week. That's why I wasn't available to present. But I'm back again. So hello to you all, and welcome anyone who's new. The Art of Jin Shinjitsu is an art of harmonizing energy, which is sometimes called chi or ki, as it moves congruently or not through the body. And it moves through the body through channels which the acupuncturists call meridians and we call energy pathways. And to control how effectively or how harmonized the energy flows through these channels, we place our hands, fingers, or thumbs on what we call safety energy locks. There's 26 of them, left and right of the spine. I think I did right and left, left and right of the spine. And they are, size-wise, the width of the palm of your hand on your body. And when you're applying a treatment of Jin Shinjitsu to somebody else, their safety energy lock is the width diameter of their palm. So anyway, welcome, welcome, as I say. Today, I thought we would do some experiencing of working with the fingers at the level of bust line, waistline, hip line. And most of you that are familiar with Jin Shinjitsu or me doing these Friday presentations will know that when I introduce harmonizing energy with the fingers, I always suggest that we check out the sides of the fingers because that's where the organ function flows can be harmonized, and the top segment, the middle segment, and the bottom segment of the fingers, which relate to, in our bodies, bust line, waistline, and hip line. And I'll just show you where that is described, explained in Self-Help Book 3. So let me share the screen here in a second. Yeah, there it is. There you have a hand. In fact, it's not just the fingers that you can subdivide into bust line, waistline, and hip line. There is the base of the fingers, the base of the fingers, the center of the hand, and the heel of the hand. That can also harmonize. Anyway, they are the segments, and I haven't written in bust line, waistline, and hip line. But those of you that have Self-Help Book 3, page 20. If not, you can order it online off the jsjinc.net website, and you can also download it as an ebook. And Mary talked about the relationship of fingers and toes here, where she talks about tips of fingers and tips of toes. So as above, so below. What you can do with the generators, the fingers, the hands, you can also mirror with the feet. Obviously, the palm side of the hands we're looking at here, and then the sole side of the feet. And by the way, the palm side represents descending energy, and the back side of the hand represents ascending energy. So there it is. That's what we're going to be looking at today as we go through experiencing the 36 breaths. And one of the things that I learned from the time that I worked at the Jin Shinjitsu office, I was fortunate to be around Mary Burmeister for a few years, I think about 6 in total, and also Pat Mehta, who was Mary's apprentice, if you like, her sidekick, her right-hand lady, whatever. And I would pick up a lot of tips from both of them, more so latterly from Pat. And one of the first things she told me was that Mary would always start a flow, generally speaking. I mean, Mary did what Mary did, and any of you that received a Jin Shinjitsu from Mary Burmeister will know that Mary did what Mary did. And often, if you try to compare and contrast what she did with what you'd read in the book, you might get confused, because Mary was actually extremely masterful, extremely intuitive, and would do whatever she intuited in the moment. She was very present to what was and what is. And yeah, anyway, you'd have to experience that. But one thing that Pat would tell me was that Mary would always create an escape route, which was placing palms or fingers or thumbs on the 15 and 6, if it was the legs, or on the 19 and the palm of the hand, if it was the arms, to move energy down. Because in Jin Shinjitsu, at the subtle level, we have this principle of energy moving down the front of the body and then up the back. So Mary was never a person, from what I could tell, that wanted to make life difficult. She always wanted to make life as easy as possible. And I think it frustrated people a lot, because her answers were often very simple. And people would go, what? I can't just hold my thumb for this, that, and the other. But if you followed what she was thinking, you would understand. And she was masterful. She was, without a doubt, I think she was a genius. I really do. Anyway, she had this concept of creating the escape route. So what I'm going to suggest, but you don't have to do it, it's up to you. As we go through this 4 sets of 9 exhalation inhalations using the fingers, you might want to start holding the bottom segment, which is hip line, first. I'm going to ask you to choose a finger, or fingers if you wish, to work with for at least 27 exhalation inhalations, and then we'll end with giving ourselves a hug. But you might want to consider holding the hip line first, because that is that 15 and 6 area, which will help create an escape route. The energy wants to go down. If it's blocked at the hip, it's going to reverse. Now, if you didn't feel that the energy was flowing at the hip line, you would then move up to the waistline, yes? And then finally to the bust line. It's a pattern of a flow that you could do on anybody. 15, 14, 13, hip line, waistline, bust line, or the other way. It's the difference between pulling energy and pushing. If you start here, you're pulling the energy down. If you start here, you're pushing the energy down. It's a little bit of magnetism. So anyway.
Would you repeat that for a second, Terry, please?
Yeah. Could you mute yourself, Gabriella? Yeah. All right. So basically, I'm suggesting you might want to begin this exercise that we're going to do with the fingers, whichever finger or fingers you choose, at the bottom segment, which represents in the body the hip line, which is hips 15. When you release the 15s, energy can flow very well down the front, and it will allow the energy to go up the back. This is not to be confused with the simple fact that I'm holding the little finger and the 15 is there. This is just at the semantics of bust line, waistline, hip line. However, if you wanted to double your money and get more bang for your buck, and you knew the safety energy lock was there, you probably would do that anyway. So hopefully that makes sense. So you're releasing the hip line first, just in case there's a blockage, which will prevent the energy going down. All right. And remember, we talk about when we do our exhalation, we exhale from safety energy lock 4 through the 15 at the hip line down to the 7. And then we inhale from 7 back through the hip line, which is more 2, 15 and 2, back to safety energy lock 4 in an oval, which spirals. Breathe out and don't try and understand everything if you're relatively new to Jin Shinjitsu. Just follow my leader, as it were. Follow the breath. Have this concept of energy needing to move down in order to move up. And it's moving from the head all the way through the waistline, through the hip line, down to the feet, where it connects to the earth, and it moves. It can move even deeper into the core of the earth, turns around, comes back up through that big toe. Actually, it comes up through the feet generally, and all the way up the back of the body. And it's in a positive spiral. And it's important to, I think, contemplate why it's a positive spiral. Because in the universe is looking for harmony. It's looking to harmonize chaos. And positive moving energy is harmonious. If we do the other way, that tends to stir up a bit of chaos. You'll find that more easy to digest once you've experienced working with your fingers or different flows, and you try reversing your hands and things like that. There's all kinds of experiments you can do to show or to feel how energy does or doesn't move congruently through the body. And in fact, you reverse hands when you're working on somebody or yourself if the energy is too intense. And reversing slows down the movement of energy. Anyway, that may be a little way off for some of you or way out for some of you, but I always encourage people, folks, to experiment. Have a little book or something where you can experiment on yourself and then note down how you felt. Or if you have a buddy who you can work with doing Jin Shinjitsu, work with them and observe what happens for them. Ask them to tell you, oh, what happened when I reversed my hands? What happened when I did this instead of that? So directionality is what I'm really talking about. And there's very few instructors of Jin Shinjitsu that I know that really understand directionality. I think Mary definitely did. I think Philomena has a good grasp. But I don't know too many who do. And that's not a criticism. It's just an observation of something that is very subtle. And it takes sometimes a physicist to fully understand what's going on as the energy moves through the body. So anyway, without further ado, let's begin our practices. And I want you to choose left or right. One finger, any finger. Go through the fingers, side of the finger, top of the finger, back of the finger. The thumb will always lead the direction of energy. If you place it on the palm side, it's going to move the energy down. If you place it on the back, it's going to move the energy up. I think for the purpose of this exercise, palm side would be helpful, all right? And just check which finger or fingers you want to work with and make a decision and stick to it. Where are you going to begin? Are you going to begin at the bottom segment, hip line? Or are you going to begin at the middle segment, waistline? Are you going to begin at the top segment, bust line? I would suggest you stay with the same finger, left or right, but I'm not policing you. You do whatever you want to do. But for the purposes of this exercise, it may be more helpful to just stay with one. So I'll give you a few minutes to experiment. Let's go around. And, woo, woo, woo. There's more than one that could do with some harmonizing. Yeah. And then when you've chosen, decide whether you want to start with the bottom segment, the hip line, or any of the other segments. Sit up as straight as you can. Drop your shoulders. And for those of you that are new, we do 4 sets of 9 exhalation inhalations. 9 represents, in numerology at least, end of a cycle, beginning of a new. We do 1 set, we slip into neutral, where we become the observer or the witness of what we've just experienced. And we begin another set of 9. All right? And we're exhaling. It doesn't matter whether it's through the nose and the mouth, or just through the mouth, or just through the nose. It's what is comfortable for you. And as I said, we exhale full body breath from the 4s through the 15s in the hip line to the big toe 7 down the front. And we inhale, receive a breath naturally from the 7s to the 15 to the 2. And we're going to do that 9 times. I'm going to choose a finger, and I hope you've all chosen one. Don't worry if you haven't. Just begin by exhaling, holding the segment that you've chosen. Let us begin. Close eyes, turn your cell phone off. The least amount of distractions possible is very positive and harmonizing for your energy field. Here we go. So as the energy spirals down on the exhale, it finds its ground, just as you would in an electrical circuit, the ground wire. And any excess goes into the minerals and the water layers of the earth. And then we breathe in and receive cosmic purified energy, which actually is 360 degrees. It's not just from the earth, it's all around you. Heaven and earth become one at that point. And the energy moves in a positive spiral up the back, up through the energy, up the back of the legs, up through the coccyx, through the spine, left and right, through the major energy centers of the spine, up to the 4s, the window that lets in more light, and back down again. 8 more times, here we go. Relax those shoulders, feel them sinking down, 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 through the waistline, through the hip line, and down to earth. And then receive the cosmic purified energy on the inhale. And for those of you relatively new, we're listening for a pulsation in whichever segment of the finger we're holding, just like you would feel on the radial artery. It's the blood pulse. The blood pulse follows the energy pulse. So when you feel the blood pulse, you know the energy is moving. And that's what we want. Just let go. Just surrender. Whether you always feel it or not, you are supported, as above, so below. This universe seeks harmony. It looks chaotic at times, but if you go through the chaos, there is a deep and abiding harmonic, which is still and peaceful. Well, it's not really still, but most people would not be able to recognize the movement. It's so incredibly microscopic. In those moments when you feel, oh my gosh, what can I do? You have your finger helpers and you have your breath. Connect, trust, surrender. Okay, when you've done the 9 exhalation inhalations on whatever segment of the finger you chose, just move into a neutral zone and just observe how you feel and maybe where you feel, because those fingers representing bust line, waistline, and hip line are connecting to those aspects in your body. So just observe, don't judge, just observe. It just means being aware. And as I said earlier, the environment in which we practice these exercises is very important. As calm as you would like to be, encourage your environment to support that. Definitely don't have the TV blaring. Turn the music down very low, and I would suggest peaceful music and least distractions as possible. Okay, now we're going to do the second set of 9 exhalation inhalations, and you can choose to hold whichever segment of whichever finger you are holding, or you may want to go to another finger. It's up to you, but I would go to the next segment, just check in which one you want to do. Hold that, palm side, thumb side on the palm. Exhale and inhale 9 times. Here we go. Feel the connection to the earth through your toes, particularly through the big toe. Feel that almost like magnetic grip to the mineral layer of the earth. Down to earth. Water flows down, fire moves up. As we receive the breath, the cosmic purified energy, that can be perceived as fire, the great purifier. Not that water doesn't purify either, just a different quality. Let go. Trust. I believe the universe is most kind, benevolent, and we see that through the harmonizing of the elements through nature. How each element supports the other, energizes the other, as this reciprocal relationship, so that we can live in harmony. And of course, sometimes to get to the harmony, the water turns into a flood, and the fire turns into a furnace. Different qualities. Sometimes it's necessary to have stronger qualities of each element in order to move the energy. If we remain stuck for too long, that's often what happens. And we see it mirrored in the world. When there's a lot of stagnation, suddenly a lot of forceful energy arises, and we think, oh, the universe has abandoned us. No, the universe is just looking to harmonize the chaos, and sometimes as it moves to do that, it feels and looks chaotic. But it soon returns to harmony, if we allow it. Okay, and you've reached the end of the second set of 9. Just observe how you feel, what you feel if you do, and just be the witness. Please don't worry if you're not feeling the pulsation. The more you practice this exhalation, inhalation brings the blood to the surface, you will. We're not comparing or competing. We're just allowing your own journey. Now choose the third segment of the finger or fingers that you are connecting to. Hold that segment and we begin the third set of 9 exhalation inhalations. Here we go. Sometimes as the energy moves the blockages, it doesn't necessarily feel pleasant. Keep exhaling. Those kinds of sensations are just a result of an energy or an emotional release as the energy that was blocked begins to move. Very often, at the basis of all blockages is an emotional response that wasn't in harmony. And if it's been there a long time, it becomes an attitude. And for those of you that have worked with Jin Shinjitsu for a while, know that we can harmonize attitudes with the fingers. So lots of things we can do with the fingers. As we allow that energy to reach Mother Earth, I always like to think of the first verse of the song Woodstock, or at least I think it might be the chorus line. We are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Mother Earth is here. We're in and through her, and we have her being, our being in her. That garden of harmony, some say the Garden of Eden. Oneness, wholeness. And as you reach the 9th exhalation, inhalation, just be aware of how you're feeling, what you're feeling, if you are feeling anything. It's perfectly reasonable to feel neutral. It's in fact a very good sign. It relates well to harmony. Neither one thing or the other, it just is what it is. I feel a peaceful heart is a good place to be, a good harmony. Heart being the core of us, the center of our emotions. And if doing these kinds of exercises, like I said, stirs up something, just let it go. Release it. Let it follow through. It's perfectly okay to run the gamut of all the different kinds of emotions. The thing is, how long do we hold on to them? And that includes, believe it or not, those more uplifting emotions as well. Sometimes happiness can reach a stage of, ooh, too much. So it's a harmony. All right, so the last set of 9, just give yourself a hug. You can place right and left hand underneath the armpits, The fingers go to the side of the shoulder blade and the thumbs underneath the shoulder girdle. If this is uncomfortable, take one hand away, and the hand you've taken away, place on the 15 area or the high 1 area, which is the upper thigh here, and just relax. And allow that energy, that journey that you've been on, to consolidate itself within you. Here you notice we're more at the bust line, the heart line. Jin Shin Jyutsu can be described as an art of compassion. Usually we feel compassion in the heart, right? Nine exhalation inhalations. Feel, if you can, the connection to the ground beneath. And down to earth connection. And then allowing the energy to rise up, fire energy. Purifying, cosmic purified energy. In many ways, we're all on a journey of purification of the heart. The ability to feel, experience, and show harmony and all the qualities of the heart. Wisdom, courage, love, peace. Whilst being aware of the opposite. Always remember those Christmas cards. Peace on earth, goodwill to all men. Well, let's change that to all human, all beings. And let's talk about peace in terms of heaven meeting earth and earth meeting heaven. A wholeness or oneness. I think we'd all prefer peace everywhere. Okay, when you come to the 9th exhalation, inhalation, just relax. And if at the end of this set of 4 by 9 you still feel some discomfort, then you know you might want to get a flow from someone else, or you might want to spend extra time on that area. Those of you that know Jin Shinjitsu will probably think of some remedy. Remember, anything going on above the waist, there's often a solution below the waist. So different ways of approaching disharmonies, but the breath is key. So I can see some of you have been sending me little messages in the chat room here. Let's see if there's anything I can answer. Yes, Gabriella, sometimes we do feel some numbness in our fingers. Now, you can do one or two things there. You can carry on breathing through, or you can go to the next segment up, which will either pull that energy up or down, depending which way the thumb is on your hand. Thumb this way on the palm is going to bring the energy down. Thumb that way is going to bring the energy up. David, when people have a lot of pressure in the bust line, you need to, and behind the eyes, you need to think in terms of bringing the energy down. And I would suggest 11:15, 11:25 may begin to move that energy down. And, or in this case, what you've described, this could be the gallbladder flow. If you don't know the gallbladder flow, I can send you that later. Okay. So that's that on the chat. Okay. So we still got a little time left. And before I ask anyone if they've got a birthday, and then they've got the opportunity to rush off and just say bye-bye, or if they've got any particular project they're working with, I'm just going to share my screen and show you what's happening in the world of Jin Shin Jyutsu. Okay, so tomorrow there is a 2-hour webinar on diaphragm and umbilicus function energy, led by Sarah Harper. And all the information is there on the website, www.jsjinc.net. It may also be on the new website, the Spirit, Mind, Body, Jin Shin Jyutsu website. Sorry, I don't have their URL on me. I haven't really explored their website. I just know this one. Anyway, here is all the details of the webinar, what she's going to be discussing and teaching. $47 registered today. My credit card there or PayPal there. And it starts at 2 o'clock New York time. And yours truly, plus Debbie Rappaport, will be your co-hosts tomorrow. And then on Friday, October the 14th, which is a little ways off, but nonetheless, it's good old Sarah. And she's doing the Art of Being a Practitioner in Talent, Oregon. And it looks to me as this is going to be a live class. Yes, indeed, in person. So those of you that want to go to sunny Oregon, if it is going to be sunny, that's a good place to, I personally have been to this part of the world where it's being held. It's very rural and very pretty. Anyway, here's all the details. You can download the flyer there. And your organizer is actually Debbie. And your co-organizer is Carrie, and you can register today there and all the other information there. And then finally, if you've missed any classes, click on any of these links and you'll be taken to information on them and you can pay the fee. All these webinars come with a 3-month replay. All right. So, okay. Has anybody got a birthday today? Or this past few days? Or Rita, we got you. So I'm going to bring you on board. There you go. How are you, Rita? Can you unmute yourself?
I'm fine.
Oh, can you unmute yourself? Can't hear you. No, I'm going to have to do it myself.
Yeah. Now you hear me?
Yeah, now I got you.
Yeah. It was on the 50th, the day we didn't have a practice. My birthday.
Well, yeah, then you are very deserving. Yeah, we had a break. Gabriella, how are you feeling? Can't hear you.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I am feeling okay.
Yeah?
I'm feeling, yes. And I want to tell you something amazing. Shall I? Besides this.
Well, can I just ask, do you want to join the three of us and receive a healing blessing?
I would like to join everything you are doing.
Okay, I'm going to pull you on with Rita. Here we go.
Thank you.
All right. Folks, I spoke to Gabriella earlier, and, you know, she's working with some projects, as we all are, but she mentioned them. So I'm inviting her to be with Rita and myself, Rita Maria. Do you prefer Rita or Rita Maria?
As you want.
As you want. Rita, are you from Brazil?
Yes, I am from Brazil. I'm living in São Paulo, in the countryside of São Paulo state.
Oh, now that's where Ioli and Carlos are, isn't it?
Sorry?
Is that where Ioli Liebenstein lives and Carlos Gutierrez? Are they in Sao Paulo?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay, they're instructors. Okay.
Yeah, no, I met few of them in I did some self-help seminar with Sarah.
Oh,
March. And then there was one that was translating and the person that organized. And there was Margaret that showed up.
Margaretti. Okay,
yes.
Margaretti. Yes. Okay, great. Well, welcome, and thank you for joining us from Brazil. And Gabriella, you're from the UK, right?
Yes, I am from the UK.
Yeah. Which part of England?
I'm further to the US than you might think, because I'm on the West Coast, which is Bristol.
Bristol.
Yeah, which is a lovely city, if you can get out. But I've been stuck in front of the laptop for like 20 years, not going out almost at all. There is no time.
Well,
but I would like to say something amazing because of your work with us tonight. I was telling you that the printer doesn't want to print, and I need to send a laptop back to the business.
Okay.
After I finished working on the fingers, under your instructions, the printer decided to print. That's the most amazing thing. The energy, the unblocked.
Okay, everyone. Here's something to consider. Where isn't there energy? Yes. Where isn't there energy?
Yeah, we're in a soup of all possibilities.
Yes. So when we harmonize, we do affect our environment. And when the environment is even more harmonized, it will affect us.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Good example. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Good example. All right, everybody. So I think most of you know the drill. This is where, if we haven't connected already as a group, we're going to magnify the energetic field and we're going to offer healing blessings through from the jumper cable at the center of the palm, which most of you that know Jin Shin Jyutsu know is the also Safety Energy Lock 26, all complete. The jumper cable going up, the back coming in through the solar plexus, going back down. We're going to offer that, our jumper cable, universal energy coming through us. Yeah, it's not really our energy. If we're really doing Jin Shin Jyutsu, it's universal energy coming through us to Rita, Maria, and Gabriella, who will hold, if they wish, their 15s or their little finger, whichever they want to hold. But I would suggest, for the purposes of grounding, you place your palms up in your 15 if you can, with your fingers pointing down. This will direct the energy to go down to earth. All right. This is another aspect. This is another aspect of directionality. Okay. So now I'm going to mute Rita and Gabriella, and let us all begin. Everybody, just feel a connection from your heart to everybody in the room. Feel the field of energy that is within you and without you as a group. We're acting like a satellite of light, or we're sitting on the light, we're sending the light, a sender light. We're going to allow light energy to come through us to Rita and Gabriella. And with our little fingers, we're connecting to everybody else. So close eyes, sit up straight, drop your shoulders, and make a jumper cable connection to Rita and Gabriella. Connect. Breathe out. Here we go. Allow. After a while, you may notice that the energy coming through your palms is beginning to slow down and withdraw. That's normally an indication that the job is done, the connection has been made, and the energy has been offered. And it's quite remarkable. You don't have to time it, but often very brief connections like this can be very effective. I believe Mary once said that the most harmonizing in Jin Shinjitsu is done in 8 minutes. There's just 8 minutes within a circuit of energy, an hour-long circuit that actually does the work. Okay, when you're ready, just place your hands, all of us place our hands in our groin area, in our hip line, 15. And thank you, thank you, thank you. So how was that, Rita and Gabriella?
It was very nice. In the beginning, I felt my heart, stronger energy in my heart. And then there was like an aura here of light. And then my body was calming down, and I was having a lot of pain last days in my body. So now I'm okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Gabriella?
I didn't feel anything on the physical level, but I'm very happy, which is more important. I think I needed this. Thank you, everybody.
So, you know, it is what it is, and as it is, it is. You know, we receive, hopefully. We don't block ourselves. We let ourselves go and allow the energy to flow. And the result is what is necessary at the time for us. And maybe we'll go around, go back and rest a little more, perhaps. I should point out, especially to the new people, when you're doing these practices, you don't have to be sitting up. You can, in fact, lay down, as long as you can hear the instructions and you keep your back relatively straight. You don't have to be sitting up. Okay? I'll make that as a point to remember. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you again, same time next week, same place. I don't know whether we'll have a mystery guest, but as I said to Gabriella, if you have stories, do drop me a line, harmonize to energize at gmail.com, you know, H2E. I think everyone knows that email, don't they? All right. Okay, folks, I'm going to stop the recording.